Well, former England captain Bob Willis is here to talk all things Ashes as we build up to tomorrow evening. Bob, thanks very much for coming in. Lots to get through. So first of all, I mean, Anderson and Broad are certain to be in, but who gets the third seamer spot and why?
It's a very tight call, this one, Kirsty. I think the bowling coach, David Saker, is a big Chris Tremlett fan, and I think he'll probably get the nod. Stephen Finn has a happy knack of picking up wickets whenever he plays, but he goes for lots and lots of runs. But he's a fine bowler, and I'm sure his time will come again. But I do think that England will probably start this series with Tremlett rather than Finn or Rankin. They may, the three of them, just be waiting to keep the seat warm for Tim Bresnan, who hopefully will be fit come the Adelaide Test match in about 10 days' time.
Let's talk about Matt Prior, because obviously he's pushing to be fit and he's sounding... the signs are encouraging. But if you're a wicket-keeper and you've got a calf problem, it's going to be very, very difficult to get through a whole Test match, isn't it? If there's any doubt.
Yes, I mean, batting and running between the wickets is one thing, but crouching down all day, maybe 2 days in the field, and moving from side to side in that crouched position is totally different. And he needs to give it a thorough working over in the next 24 hours to make sure that he's fit, because the last thing England need is for Prior to have a recurrence of this injury during the first Test match and then not be available later in the series. But he is a vital player for England. Johnny Bairstow did little wrong in the final warm-up game, but the fact of the matter is that Prior is a top-class batsman as well as keeper. Bairstow hasn't quite proved himself as a batsman, and he's very much a reserve wicket-keeper. So England will be having every finger crossed that he can be fit for the start of this series, because getting a good start, as we all know, at Brisbane is vitally important. There have been much publicised Brisbane catastrophes over the years. Steve Harmison's first ball setting the trend there. Nasser Hussain putting Australia into bat, and going back a little bit further, Michael Slater slapping McCaig and De Freitas all round the Gabba to grab the initiative for that series. So England need to come out of the blocks very quickly. There's no time to settle in, because Australia are going to come at England very hard. And
in that vein as well, a good start being vital, Bob. The rain as well, as we saw in those pictures in the VT, has really hampered their preparations. So do you think they have had enough of a warm-up, especially some of these players who've come through these fitness tests and been injured? Yeah,
I don't think the preparation has been as good as it was 4 years ago. As you say, apart from the Perth match, the matches have been very much interrupted by rain in both Tasmania and again in Sydney. And as we've already seen, there can be very, very heavy thunderstorms late afternoon in Brisbane, which might affect the last hour or so of playing time on one or more days. But I don't think England's preparation has been ideal. Most of the batsmen have spent some time in the middle. I'm slightly more worried about the bowling department and the number of overs some of these bowlers have got into their legs.